I'm happy. Am I ridiculous?
You like narrating your life.
You know, there are psychological studies that say when people are happy, they look desperately for things to make them unhappy.
That was Emmy and Tony Award-winning actress Christine Baranski, guest starring on the hit show The Big Bang Theory. Baranski is best known for playing Chicago lawyer Diane Lane on The Good Wife and its spin-off series on CBS All Access, The Good Fight. In this clip of the season 3 premiere, which we just saw, right? The Good Fight, Baranski's character reflects on life while spending quality time with her husband, Kurt. And what was happening in that episode?
Well, you could tell from my line reading, I'm happy, that it was a moment of maybe post-coital bliss, and she, in her newly,
as one does,
newly refurbished bedroom, and her husband has decided to cut back on his work so he can commit himself to the marriage, and it is a moment when she is perfectly happy. And then what do you think happens? It's all downhill after that. We were doing a TV drama that happens to take place in the current political, cultural climate. So how can anyone wake up and say, I'm happy, and for that to last for long?
Yeah.
So Diane's life gets complicated rather quickly. She finds a little blonde hair on his jacket and says, what's that?
And she doesn't ignore it either. She confronts him with it. It's very interesting to see who that blonde hair belongs to.
Yeah.
But I love this Diane Lockhart character because you played her on The Good Wife for so long. I thought, how in the world are they going to make this work in another iteration? But she seems to be having a really good time. Could we describe that about you as well?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing because for 7 years I played Diane Lockhart, and she was a powerful woman who ran her own law firm, and she was always in the room where it happens, and she was always with the guys, and you saw this woman, and I feel like the culture's finally caught up with Diane Lockhart, because now there are 6 women candidates for president, and we have Nancy Pelosi just saying, no, just answer the questions, and then we have you saying, I'm just going to sit here till you answer the questions. And it's a great time to be a woman of any age, but certainly a woman with experience, a woman with life experience, education, a sense of herself, confidence, and...
But how are you feeling, Christine? Because I look at you, you seem to be working harder, looking better. And no, I don't mean that as an insult, because I feel that too about myself. I feel like I look like I feel better now.
I think it's the best time in my life. I mean, I raised 2 beautiful daughters. I now have 3 grandchildren. I lost my husband 4 years ago, but my life has continued in a happy way. I am now #1 on the call sheet, to my amazement. At my age, I find myself the lead in this show.
Money. Yes.
And I'm making more money. And last year I did Mamma Mia.
Yes.
And, singing and dancing with Meryl and Sharon. I mean, my life's pretty good.
Let me ask you this, Christine. Is what you're saying that people recognize all of that genius that you just described, or you don't have to push as hard as you would have 20 years ago? Like, what do you think the difference is now?
Good question.
The great thing is I never... Maybe because I didn't consider my beauty or my prettiness. I never was the pretty leading lady, the ingenue. I never defined my life by my beauty or my youth. That wasn't my commodity. What I had was, a level of talent and ambition and ability to work very hard. And I've just kept doing it. So I would say to young women, don't think of your life in terms of your youth or how am I going to hold on to it for dear life. Don't think of that as your commodity. What is most valuable is the cultivation of good work, your character, your life experience, the people whose relationships you are comfortable with, who are worth knowing. And I have all that in my life, and so I have. Where's the wood? I have a good life.
I know.
But I marvel at this role. You didn't even know what it was going to be.
No.
And you just said, I'll do it, without even a pilot.
No, there's a good reason for that. We had 7 happy years of doing The Good Wife with the great Juliana Margulies, and she carried that show on her back. And it was really about her story. And she was the wife who was, wronged by her husband who slept with a hooker, and that brought down his political career. Doesn't that sound kind of quaint now? Anyway.
Less than 5 seconds.
Okay, but they conceived of a spin-off for this character, and it's worked out mainly because I wanted to work with those writers. So
You're a
here I am.
badass, Christine
You are.
Baranski.